We are under the groove where we see no evil, speak no evil, and hear no evil. I want to begin today by first sending shots out to Nabi and our condolences to his mom and family. He will be missed, but he's not forgotten. Rest well, man. It was such a senseless loss to see this young brother who was a part of nothing to lose his life. All right. So our condolences to him, to his family, his mom especially. Also, also under the groove, man, want to wish and extend our heartfelt condolences to Big Ten Speed's family. Good brother, man. We lost him a day or so ago, man. He will be missed. 10 Speed was a pillar, man, to say the least. He was a pillar, man. He was loved and respected all over, man. His loss, his passing, is going to affect and touch a lot of us, you know. Um, Here at Under the Groove, we felt blessed to have him come and sit, bring his presence here and sit with us and chop it up the way he did, man. Never forget, I would never forget him for that. I always loved him for that, man. He was one of the brothers that was willing to come and speak truth to power about this lifestyle. The brother will be missed, you guys. Again, our condolences to him, to Nabi, man. You brothers take care, man. You're in the right hands now. You're away from the mess, man. Rest well. Rest well. So yeah, hoover hey to the rest of the people, man. Here we are again. Uh, a grand rising, to say the least. It is a grand rising for those of us who are 10 toes down, who are focused on the focus, who those of us who put people before paper, and those of us who are in this get down for the get down in the right way, in the right sense of the word, man. A lot going on, some of which I like to keep the podcast the way it is for reasons you guys should understand by now. And I do not want to promote nothing that causes harm to us, not the podcast, us. I don't want to rehash anything, man, that is negative, man. We need to get to this point where negativity has no place in our society, in our culture, in our homes, you know what I'm saying, in our minds, man. We have to start doing things on a whole nother level. If not, man, we're going to be stuck, man. Again, we're going to be stuck in this muck, in this mire, man, and ain't going to be no way out. I will say this, and I'm saying it because I think it should be said. Nobody wins, man. I don't care what these youngsters think. I don't care what these old heads who send the youngsters think. Nobody wins. Nobody wins. Because nowadays you can't get away with the shit, Like back in the day, you didn't have all this social media and cameras everywhere. It's there for a reason, It's there for a reason. And I'm here to say, man, there's no escaping that reality because they're there. Everywhere you go, they are there. It's a no-win situation. Lives lost. Lives lost. I don't care on what spectrum, be it incarceration, LWOP, that's, you know, life without the possibility of parole or death. Nobody wins, man. And the coldest thing about it, for those who live through the process or end up getting, these outrageous sentences, is that real soon they're going to see, they're going to feel it, they're going to understand. They ain't going to be able to do nothing about it because where they are is where they'll be. Where they end up is where they will be, just based on the amount of time they're giving out to young brothers and sisters. Ain't no getting away from that. Ain't no coming back from it, man. It's all like death. You could be considered, we used to call ourselves zombies, the walking dead. You go in there, man, you will be forgotten, by everybody except your mama and your kids. That's the truth, man. You will be in there lingering, man, wasting away on what we used to call the shelf. Coming back from that, man. All right. So again, nobody wins, man. I don't care what they telling y'all. I don't care what they telling y'all. And then furthermore, it's sad that, it's sad, bro. It's sad. Let me move on. Again, we speak no evil. We see no evil and we hear no evil. on Under the Groove, man. This is a whole different get down, y'all. It's in effect. You know, again, we gonna change some shit. But again, it's a fight. We are at war, you know, with ourselves. We are at war, man. We'll get there though. We'll get there because this is the good fight. This is the good fight. Trust that. James Cash, how you doing, bro? How you doing? Good to see you in the get down, bro. I didn't see you last week, man, and missed you last Wednesday, but I understand how things go. When it's a grand rising, man, we set out to do these things, you know, that we are fortunate enough to do. You know what I mean? We're able to do some stuff today that we didn't get a chance to do yesterday. That's a part of that, man. You got to accept that, realize that it's a good life, man. You woke up, man, on a whole different play sheet. You feel me? You're able to do some stuff you didn't get to do yesterday. So here you are, man. Appreciate seeing you in the get down, bro. Salute to you as well. All right, Lorraine. How's life? All right. You tell a loved one, you know, we send ours from Under the Groove. Hope everything is everything. And you two are starting to live life. Starting to live life. You earned it. You deserve it. Take care of one another. Absolutely. RIH. Big 10, man. Gonna be missed. It's gonna be missed. It's a good brother, man. All right, Clarence Johnson, same thing, brother. Big 10, solid as they come, man. Real spit. Real spit. Blessings to you, Lisa Moore. I see you in the get down. Welcome back. Always a pleasure to have you here, just like Lorraine. I'm looking for Queen Nzinga. I'm pretty sure she'll pop up at some point. You know, it's always a pleasure to have you sisters, you queens in this get down. Just as much as it's good to have you guys in the get down, it's even better to have you guys put your 2 cents in the chat. You know, I think it carries a lot of weight. Sisters need to start speaking up and speaking out, but only when you sisters, so said sisters and queens, got their shit together. You know, we don't want to be no hypocrites. You know what I mean? We don't want to be no hypocrites. We want to push truth to power. You know, we want to be you guys. You know, whoever come on this get down, man, we want to always be focused on the focus. We want to put people before paper. And not only that, man, we want this thing to be of a nature, man, when you come in here, you know, the energy is right. The energy is right. We with the get down. You know, we come to this get down to be about the get down, man. And all you know what that is. That's all we own. All right, enough said, man. All right, there she go. There's no, who is this? All right, Michelle Hall. All right. Queens in the chat. Yes, sir. Los Angeles Aboriginal. Hey, positivity, prosperity. You threw in longevity, man. That's a must. But you know, we get that, man, when we dealing with them other 5 Ps. You know, we live on, we live strong. You know, we live in life, man. We having a lifespan that goes beyond 20, 30 years of age, 40. You know, we trying to get our people to live in such a way, man, where longevity, man, you could look at them and tell you've been around. You know, you still here? What you know? You know, we want to know the recipe. We want to know the script. Yeah, so you know, it's a beautiful thing to have you up in here, Los Angeles Aboriginal. Always a blessing, man, to have you in to get out. Markel Holman, what it do? What it do? He said, peace and blessings, big bro. Keep speaking truth to power. Definitely much needed to change the consciousness of the collective. Hey, man, this is some serious stuff. It's some serious stuff, man. You know, and you got real brothers just trying to keep it together, trying to understand, you know. And for those of us who got understanding, now we want to figure out how can we change, you know, the landscape, man, the thought processes, what you said, the consciousness of brothers and sisters, man, who are out here doing damage to one another, nobody else, doing damage to self and others that look like them, but no one else. You know, who is the real enemy? Who's the real enemy, man? It's going to be all right, though. It's going to be all right. Eastside Trades, cuz shout out to the groove thing. Cuz, all right, appreciate that, Eastside Trades. Appreciate you in the get down, man. I haven't seen you before, man. Good to have you back. Hey, Frederick, how you been, brother? Salute back, bro. Salute back, bro. Good to see you up in the get down as well. Mike Fresh. Okay, so Mike Fresh got a question. And again, man, my thing is this, man, Mike. I don't know, man, if your name is Fresh. It ain't been on the Get Out before. Look, man, that's something we don't necessarily, we don't advocate. We don't sit down and have them discussions, man. It's a lot of serious stuff going on in these streets, man. A lot of stuff nobody's actually privy to or involved in. You know what I mean? Uh, pimping, pimping on any level is wrong. Straight up. Not just minors, man. You know, just period, bro. Period. So there's our take on that, bro. Ain't no, it's not about we letting or we let, it ain't that, homie. It ain't that. What you got to understand, I think what you should accept or come to realize is that we're in a time, we're in an age, man, where, hey, it's hard to get people to listen to truth, man. It's hard to help direct those who don't want to be directed, you know? You know? So, there that is, homie. We not with no funnies on this platform. We don't, man, look, y'all ain't saw us drop nothing on none of that. On none of that. That ain't what we do. Do we agree with it? No. But I don't think it's something worthy of being put out on the airwaves, man, And it's a lot of finger pointing. They just happen to be the ones that got caught. All right. They just happen to be the ones that got caught. And take that, with a grain of salt, man. But hey, bro, that ain't what we do here. All right, Mike Fresh. What we need to be discussing is how do we, save or get hold of these youngsters before they fall victim to that type of lifestyle, that culture, when kids like of that age fall into stuff like this, a lot of reasons for it, It's a lot of reasons for it. I think the best thing for us when we come on this Get Out is talk about solutions, talk about directives and direction, support, shit like that. You know what I mean? But we're not about pointing the fingers and helping to keep, that conversation going because it goes nowhere. It's just a conversation. And most dudes who get it and they go on their platforms, they getting it and going on platforms for a reason. It's not to help nobody. So there that is, bro. Much respect. Appreciate you coming on to Get Out. Yes, sir. This is touching bases with the people, Mike Fresh. You might want to come back, man, and hang out a little bit, man, just to listen to the conversation, brother. We're not on no funnies, homie. And then some of everybody in this Get Out from some everywhere. Trust that. Trust that. Yeah. So, yeah, man, shit. Clarence Johnson, yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you for that, man. We got to let, people coming in this Get Out, we got to let them know what this chat about. We're not with no funnies. Wild Bunch, 112HA, man, see, he said, I always told the homies, game banging and pimping, don't mix. But when can you say when they're taking care of the set? I'm trying to understand, the wording, bro. I kind of get what you mean, but what can you say when they're taking care of the set? This what I say, homie. And Wild Bunch, and I mean this, homie, because you from the collective, so I'm gonna speak to you straight up, bro. But not to be, we out here on this Get Out, so I'm gonna be mindful of what I say to you, homie, just out of respect. Neither one of them is any good, homie. If we want to use that as an example of taking care of the set, that's the wrong example to use, bro. Straight up, bro. I'm gonna tell you some real spit. Neither one of them is any good. Does the set any good? Neither one. I can give you too many examples why they don't. Just too many, bro. I need you to just focus on the focus, homie. Look at it, man, in real time, just for real, man. The reality of it. The reality of pimping. The reality of gang banging. Because I know. And most everybody in this Get Out know. And some of them never have to gang bang to understand the reality of it. Some of them never had to be a pimp or a whore or a prostitute, excuse my language, people, to understand it. How does it benefit the set? Any of it. It's there to help deteriorate, to tear down, to destroy what we call the set, our community. And again, man, we're talking about something, man, for all it's worth, man. We still don't own nothing. We still don't own nothing over there. The motels they use, you know what I mean? Whatever, man. The stores that you go buy the rubbers from, the drink to get out, we don't own nothing. So how does that help or take care of the set? I just, make it make sense, homie. Make it make sense. And like I said, in all due respect, loved one, because you in to get out, and we appreciate you when you come in this get out. But again, let's just understand something. When we're talking about this shit that really affects the community, and I don't mean just ours, but the community on a whole, as a whole, hey man, we got to focus on the focus. The shit that come out our mouths got to be some solid shit. It got to make sense. It got to make sense, man. And if not, we're just like a whole lot of cats, man, on a whole lot of other platforms. The shit they talk is nonsensical. It makes no sense, man. We want to avoid that, bro. That's all. We want to avoid that, bro. But anyway, I appreciate your comment, loved one. Abdul, I see you, man. Yeah. That might be the case too, Clarence. Never know, man. There you go, bro. Lorraine Sen said, I have my own opinions about the pimping and hoeing, but in my camp, when I was in the game, we didn't do minors. It's by choice, not by force. Yeah, and that I think that may be, the not consensus, but that might be what's said, whatnot. When we grew up, yeah, the game probably changed. I've never been involved in that. I've never messed with anybody who was, my respect for them wasn't like that. And I mean, on the pimp side of it, we grew up understanding that was it was a lot of guerrilla shit going on, if you know what I mean. Cats was guerrilling. Whether a woman wanted to be that or do that or not, she didn't have a choice. Now, what is now as opposed to what was back then, I don't know, because I'm not involved in that lifestyle or that culture. So I can't really speak to it. But what I do know is how it don't serve the set. That's all I'm speaking on. It does not serve the set in no form of fashion, especially when we're talking about positivity or we're talking about economics, something that can do good to the set. It just, it don't have that get down in it, Yeah, man. All right. Is it really real though? Or when will be the car segment be produced? Oh man, glad you mentioned that. I was just talking to the homie about the car get down, man, because we got homies with buku pictures, and I want to do a segment because it was mentioned. I think it was mentioned by you actually. I was just talking to a homie, could have been maybe 3-4 days ago. That's something that can be discussed. That's something, I have to gather the material because we're gonna do a lot of photos when we do it. And hopefully get the right heads on there, man. I know one of the homies is still involved in low riding. And I'm pretty sure, I get Eddie right. He come sit down, man, chop it up and give y'all some game on, what it's like to be in that kind of culture, man, that low riding culture. Cause the bro be on his shit. He be on his shit, man. Mm. All right, I hear you, Lorraine. She said gorilla pimping is what causes stuff like what just happened. Might be so, yeah. All right, we need to be self-sustaining, not dependent on others consuming and using. Like I said, man, you got producers and you got buyers, man. And that's the reality. Okay, is it really real though? Some of the cleanest cars I've seen, bro, was on 79th, even foreigns. 79 what? I know the homie Red had nice shit, man. Scooby's had nice cars. Tim, rest in peace, had some nice stuff, man. Judah Bean had cars, man. The old Who Connect had nice cars, actually. White Boy Tim and Dice, nice, man. I mean, Nice shit, man. Homie Dreamer had a nice one, man. We got homie Ace. You know, I going, I could just keep naming names, man. And that was just in the 70s and 80s. We had homies down in the hundreds, man, in the 50s, man, with nice automobiles. I BS you not. In fact, if I remember correctly, trying to think about the homie from Five Dudes who had a Bel Air. He had a Bel Air, and I've been wanting one ever since. I might get lucky. I might get lucky. Yeah, y'all might see me in a Bel Air, man, with the fifth wheel on the back of that bad boy rag. Might get lucky. Yeah. We want to do that car thing, man. That is something new. That would be something I think, bring a lot of attention to get down. And, again, a different aspect to the culture, as opposed to what we hearing and seeing lately. That's what's up. That is what's up. Oh, yeah, and Charlie Brown, no shit. Kim, too, shoot. Kim had a nice one. His sister. Hell yeah, no shit. King's son, Mayor Baz, is on 85th and Figueroa right now. What for? Photo op? See, she want to act like she cleaning shit up before Trump get here, y'all. See, a shit like that right there that's going on is the reason why Trump say he coming, and he's coming with the National Guard and all kind of federal agents. It's all that ball is already in motion, man. Ain't nothing gonna stop that. Ain't nothing gonna stop him from coming. And when he get here, he getting here to lay waste, man, to the whole culture. And I'm not smiling because I think it's funny. I'm just, that's what they call a raised smile. Just look, man, the man is coming, and y'all got to see the big picture, man. He ain't coming to help nobody either. He is partly photo op, but at the same time, he has an agenda. And we ain't on it, not in the right way, not in the good sense, not in terms of positivity. What he doing in New York, DC. I just saw him this morning. So, okay, now we headed to New York. Another spot after New York, was it Philly? I can't remember exactly. But from those two spots, he headed this way. So for all you brothers thinking, saying that, it's a free fall and all this shit, again, we'll be hearing about y'all in Alligator, Alcatraz somewhere, in the swamps, ship your ass to Florida or El Salvador, a whole nother country where they got a prison, where they got a bed for you. What the homie Q said, man, OG Q said, you brothers don't realize what y'all doing. Y'all making reservations. Y'all are making reservations. He gave the analogy, man, and it was tight. I appreciated hearing it from him. Brothers and sisters are making reservations for two things, for two probabilities, either incarceration for a long period of time or death. You making reservations for the Undertaker, or you making reservations, man, for the cat to keep you locked up forever. That system. The prison industrial complex, man. It coming, man. They coming. So Mayor Bass being on 85th and Fig, it's more of a photo op, to try to sow Trump because she's scared of Trump. Don't think she ain't. That, hey, man, we got it under control out here. We gonna get everybody. No, man, it doesn't matter. He's coming. It does not matter. He is coming, and brothers need to wake up and get ready. Y'all go check out these videos, man, on YouTube about how these federal agents is pushing up on brothers in DC and sisters. Go look at that. That way you get an understanding of what's coming. You get an understanding. You'll get a grand understanding of what's coming, man, because it is coming. They don't give a damn, man. They don't give a damn. That means, man, innocent brothers and sisters who ain't doing nothing, who focused on the focus are going to be caught in the crosshairs. Watch. It's not going to matter. Whether you gang banging, drug selling, pimping, it's not going to matter. You black. The same thing happened with these Hispanics. You had innocent Hispanics who had papers, who are not illegals. Guess what? It didn't matter. It got to the point they just started arresting motherfuckers, just pulling up on them, arresting them. You Hispanic. That's the agenda. Get rid of the Hispanics. Arrest them. You know, Arrest them. Let's see if they got papers. We'll sort it out later. Same thing is going to happen with us. You're going to pull up. They're going to pull up. Ain't going to matter whether you banging, slanging, pimping, whatever. You black. We'll cuff up. We'll sort it out later. And let's hope some of you are fortunate enough to make it back wherever the hell they send you. Because it ain't like you can't get lost in the system. They play that game too. They've been playing that game for a long time. Ain't nothing new about that. Oh, Detroit. New York, Detroit, and DC right now. We're next. So there that go. Okay, yeah. I see you, Wild Bunch. Again, homie, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, we ain't gonna try to even dissect that, homie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, alleged. It is what it is, homie. I get it. And this is why I try to stay away from certain conversations, because we get to making statements about shit that we don't have no knowledge of. Really, we wasn't there. We wasn't involved in none of that. We get brothers on these platforms, they get to speaking about stuff, man, talking about who committed this, and ain't no alleged or it was said, and they just outright, boom, you guilty because you've been arrested. So I tend to stay away from that shit, man. I tend to stay away from anything that, is going to lead to controversy, a back and forth type of get down, man. We not doing none of that, man. Somebody said Chicago. I said Detroit, Chicago. I stand corrected. Thank you. I stand corrected. So yeah, I hear you though, Wild Bunch. I hear you. We got a whole lot of people, man, that's, under those circumstances, in that way right there, man. Hey, ain't probably ain't done nothing. Just, hey, man, just knew some people, whatever the case may be. That don't matter though to these people. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It don't matter. So they'll find a reason if they want to. If they want to. That's what they do. They want to. So they're going to find a reason. Back in the day, we say, man, you could be innocent as hell, but once they get you in that precinct, they throw everything at you, including the kitchen sink, homie. Now, you up in there trying to fight your ass some shit you ain't had nothing to do with. That's what's coming. Yeah. Is it really real though? See, here we see the play. She should have been there, and everywhere else. Speak truth to fact, homie. Truth to power. Truth to power. But see, her thing is, her job is to cater to other people. It's not to us. And if she had any heart, she'd tell you the truth. She's not married because black people voted her in there. Her constituents aren't us. But what we got to understand also is that whole area right there is about to be converted. So in a minute, you probably won't be able to find cats over there just hanging out, to going, back and forth how cats are doing. Because, not just that area, but others are not going to exist in a minute, man. Facts. I was gone 20 something years, man. I came back. I didn't even recognize the community. I didn't recognize it. A lot of landmarks were gone, man. People, just all kind of new structures and stuff. That's just the reality, man. And it's really out there for people to know, to see, just to understand that the community is being gentrified. They're changing the landscape, man. That's it. Gentrification, man. It's in full effect. And so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying too about a lot of this gang shit. You ain't got, hey man, you fighting up some shit. You ain't gonna be able to hang out, and you could say it all you want, but you won't be over there. You're taking all that. They taking all that, and they got a place for you. It's either Lancaster or Palmdale, or what's that other one? Desert City, California City. That's where you find some of us now, or downtown LA living bad, So it's just a matter of time, bro. but it ain't gonna be, what she's doing. It ain't for us. It is not like she's actually trying to, create something to prevent, you know, uh, uh, this insanity from happening. It's just not really real. That's not her objective. It's really not. Hers is to stay in office and to let Donald Trump know, try to prove or convince Donald Trump that he don't need to send the feds down here. Because the feds coming down here mess up her money, mess up commerce and shit down here. A lot of these people need the activities going on because it does good for, businesses are in full play, man, that have got a hand. They play a role in this shit, man, not directly. But trust me, man, they eat off the culture. And if you move the culture, then you harm a lot of businesses, and a lot of people who got them businesses around, they ain't black. Again, her constituents. All right, Detroit Rockin', good to have you back, bro. Good to have you back. And I mentioned Detroit being one of the big three that they're going after first in terms of chocolate cities, where blacks, where the numbers are, pretty large, where blacks are. You can't neglect to mention Detroit. Now, I don't know what the crime rate is there, or if they would create or invent some type of crime rate that don't really exist, man, to help clean that out. Because they've been started on Detroit in terms of clearing that out. They took all the auto plants up out of there, man. New jobs blacks had, and moved them plants overseas or wherever they moved them, but they were no longer in Detroit. California was the same way. It was the same way in California. That's what they did. But yeah, don't think for a minute Detroit ain't on that list. And the man did say, he said, I have a list. I'm not doubting. He coming. Tantrum knows, Chi-Town. King Son says Chicago. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Tantrum knows said one foot in the grave and the other in the pen. And that's a cold way to put it, man. I mean, if that's if that's the way our lives are lined up for us, man, that's messed up, man. That's messed up, man. It ain't nowhere in the world. Those who know shouldn't be doing anything they can, man, to help change the mindset, the consciousness, like the brother said, of those, who are in the streets, man, and just so knee deep in this shit that they can't see the forest for the trees. You know what I mean? One foot in the grave and the other one, man, is in the pen. Making reservations, man. You making reservations. Tantrum knows says it's stages that they're taking until they get full control of everyone. Yeah, and that's another play a lot of people don't recognize that's going on. Hey, man, this is a process, man. To them, it's not a game. I was talking to the wife the other night, and we both agree about this. See, they sit down, man, and they plan stuff out. And they plan it out, like you said, in stages. They'll sit down, man, at what they call think tanks, man. And for every city, man, where there's so-called, undesirables or degenerates in those cities, in their mind, who are messing up the economy of society, they got plans for them, man. And those plans will be executed in stages. That's just the way it goes. So expect, every time you see something change, be like, oh, they did that. That's one of them stages that has been put into effect. And believe you me, it's something worse than that coming. So I don't disagree with you on that, brother. It's stages that they take until they get control of everyone and everything. That's how they play ball. That's how they play ball, man. It's a lot going on, man. But the sad part is, it's so much is going on that it's like it's just too much for some of us, man, to just encompass, to get hold of, man. You know what I'm saying? To deal with, to digest, because it's always something else. We never have time enough to even deal with the first issue before you got 3, 4 more coming at you. you know. So we're off balance, man. It got us off balance, man. Trust me. Trust me. Hey, Boss Klaus, I see you, brother. Peace to you as well, man. How you been? Good to see you and get down, bro. Yeah, they're gonna make up a reason for sure. Yeah, Lorraine. I can imagine. I was on the phone with a loved one just now, and we were talking about how brothers and sisters, they can go or be gone for a very long time and come home. There's this readjustment that they have to adjust to. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, you're starting all over again, man. But it's coming at you so fast. It's a lot of times it's just hard to deal with. You know, um, brother been gone a long time. Can you imagine 30 years and then coming home to this? It's hard to digest, man. It's just hard to conceptualize. Like, damn, what happened? What happened? Man, so I get it, man. I know you always say 29 years, 8 months. To me, that's 30 years, girl. That is 30 years, 30 years, 30 years. Shit. Shit. Man. But man, welcome home, Goldie, man. And hopefully, brother, you are focused on the focus because you're gonna need it here. You're gonna need it here, man. This stuff out here is wild and wicked. It's wild and wicked, bro. You know. Best thing you could do, man, is what you doing, where you been doing it since you've been home. That's it. That's it. G Rock said black push out. It's always been like that, bro. And like I said, they're gonna push us out of LA, whether we realize it or not. And they're gonna push the Mexicans out too. You know, you know. Some they gonna let stay because they're not gonna have a choice. There are some of us who own property, but don't let a city planner sit down and devise a city plan to beautify the city even more, and your house be on that list, get rid of you. You know, eminent domain gonna take that right from under you. So yeah, it's gonna be a push out regardless. Tantrum knows, man. He said, man, you got to carry the tribe with you, no matter if you by yourself, man. Hey, hey. Truth to power, man. Oh yeah, I like this, man. I'm gonna say this because it ain't. I don't think it's messy. I just think this is the brother's opinion. You say Tantrum Nose says they got ATL. Ninjas over there think they white. Yeah, ATL. Yeah, they might think that they're the gatekeepers for the rest of us in other cities and states. They are the example. There's a whole lot of funny stuff going on over there as well, man. We ain't blind to that shit. Focus on the focus, man. I like how way you did that, bro. Yeah, we can share that. Focus on the focus. Say just tapping in. Salute, family. Salute back, bro. Glad to see you in this get out, man. What you got for us, man? With a name like that, man. With a username like that, I expect something all the time from you, man. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, focus on the focus, man. There's liable to be something up in it. Let me keep scrolling. Cause that name right there, that's power right there, boy. Tantrano say, think about it. That's how U.S. In the '90s. That's how us in the '90s we were taught. All I do is teach the little homies out here in Ohio. OG. Yeah, and I think though, for whatever reason out here, man, it it's not that anymore, bro. I mentioned this last week about the G's, the real ones that are here, man, that made it out, man, and they see what's going on. A lot of them don't like what they see, and yet they're not involved. And I mean, just in terms of lacing the young ones right. You know what I mean? Just lacing them right, man. Giving them understanding, man. Teaching them, man. Hey, man, giving them that cautionary tale that's gonna let them know again about these reservations they making, man, and how they not gonna be housed in the situation that's gonna be there. Looking, they not going to the Hilton, they're not going to the Radisson, the Merriman. They not going to none of that, But they making these reservations, man. We got old heads that have been there and done that, man. And I'm telling you, damn, to have them in a conversation, and I don't mean on just on under the groove. I just mean period, man. I don't care where you go, from the mountaintop, top of a building, a billboard. The conversation has to be had, man. We have to start lacing these brothers and sisters. We got to start telling them the truth, man. They ain't getting the truth, man, from whoever running shit now. They ain't getting the truth, bro. But that's something I can agree with you on because I lived it. We were being laced and taught whether it makes sense or not, right and wrong. I have to admit that all the right and the positivity I was getting from my moms, my aunties, those in the community who saw what was going on and didn't appreciate it and spoke out. And yet I did what I did or acted the way I acted. I have to say, I don't know if it makes sense to any of you guys, but it makes sense to me. That shit came in handy after the fact. You know what I mean? And after the fact was when I wake up one day and I realized I wasn't going nowhere. I'm stuck, And even though I thought that, I still said, man, I gotta get out of here. And then the thought was, okay, what you gonna do though when you get out? You going back to that same shit? So I started having conversations with brothers in the pen. Like I say, most dudes know me from the joint. I wasn't with no funnies, man. I wasn't I wasn't no backdoor dude, no scandalous cat, man. I don't care where you's from, especially the youngsters. I holler at them. Hey man, this some bullshit. I'll tell them in a minute. I tell my own homies, this some bullshit on me. Motherfuckers up in prison, man, on drugs and all kind of weird shit. Like, hey man, this bullshit on me. Got us to where we don't have no hope. We ain't got no dignity, no pride, or nothing, man. Now, my thing was, hey man, shit, man, we fucked up, all right, here we are, but that don't mean we can't be men. We can't be black men, proud man, what I'm saying, and turning a new leaf. I think the place to do it is in there. You know what I mean? If we can't do it out here, then okay. I had it to do in there, and I think that's where it was meant to be for me to start this transition, you know what I mean? Especially the way I think and how I carry myself. But them days, man, of talking to loved ones, man, in the realest way no longer exists. Me and the homie was talking again the other night. We couldn't go, it was just a lot of shit we couldn't do, and back then we resented it. But, now we get it. We understand why, I think though, I think there's a lot of animosity, man, with the generations, man. There's a lot of, blame, putting blame on other people for a lot of stuff. Okay, man, be that as it may, the fact of the matter is we're all accountable though. We all got to be held responsible for our actions, especially what the thoughts we had, the words we speak, and the shit we do. We have to be accountable. Now I can go and talk, I'm blue in the face about positivity and brothers, getting it together and doing something better than what they're doing. For the majority of them, it may not mean nothing. I just might be on me, old ass motherfucker talking to me, man, about some bullshit. I remember saying this, man, about 3-4 months ago. Young cat got to get down in the comments, said, man, how'd that put money in my pocket? First thing he said. No. He didn't say, well, how does this educate me? What can I get to, better myself, consciously or whatever the case may be. First thing he talking about was a bag. Give me some money. Then I might think about doing something different. I mean, I'm getting you shit. I'm getting you words of wisdom, man. That's the money, man. That's the money, man. There it is there, man. There's your cash, but Yeah, times have changed, homie, from back then to now. That's a fact, bro. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so King's son said just got a call that the gang intervention workers are meeting with LAPD and Mary Bass on 84th and Vermont. Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Give them space. Let's see. Let's see. Again, man, I have opinions about stuff that I will never speak about on this platform. But when I see my homies, I tend to always just speak my piece truthfully. It's a whole lot that's wrong with the community. It ain't just the game bangers, man. And I ain't talking about just on Hoover, man. It's a whole lot wrong, man. A whole lot. But the ones who in the streets, the so-called active ones, they always get all the blame. They always gonna get all the blame, you know. But we never tend to, hold the elders accountable because for the truth is, man, it was the elders get down that start, what I mean, that brought this to the table, man. Guys like me and others, man, we brought this to the table, man. So how the hell do we figure we have, no responsibility to say in the matter, especially when we're speaking to young ones and shit, Um, it's a whole lot of blame to be passed around, bro. That's all I'm saying, you know. And I think when we get to that point, when we're willing to sit down and speak truthfully, get to the crux of the matter, the issue, the core, for real, and start to deal with that and straighten that out, correct a whole lot of shit. Then and only then can we go to those who need this, this insight, this support, this advice. Then can we go? Only then can we go to them and start sharing this stuff with them. Because they're not gonna respect it otherwise. Because they see the same shit I see. They see the same shit we all see, man. About a whole lot of shit. Excuse my language, but let's see what come of that. Let's see what comes of that, man. You know, other than an increase in funding that you know, figure it out, y'all. Figure it out. Tantrum Nose says sad part is we still out here getting each other over colors when the whole time the plot been to take full control of us. Again, man, yeah, we stuck on stupid. Somebody said earlier in the chat, man, we have to raise the conscious level, man, the consciousness of our brothers, man. We got to get that conscious level up, man. I'm telling you. But again, with so much going on, man, I tell you, they flood our culture with all kind of distractions and diversions to where, man, we can't, it's hard for grown folks, let alone younger, individuals to focus on what should be priorities, what should be, right and good, positive for oneself. It's difficult when, we have a society that tell it money is everything, you know. Money is everything. You ain't got Air Force One, the fresh Jordans, these glasses they wearing, these jeans and all this shit. This car, if you ain't got that, you ain't shit. You know, if you ain't all tatted up, if you ain't got the right, tools and you ain't putting it down, you ain't shit. It's a whole lot that we have to contend with. I'm not making excuses. I'm just speaking, what the reality is. And the reality is, man, it's a whole lot put in front of us for a reason. And it's done so we cannot focus. You imagine, man, if we focus, if I got imagination that just out of this world, man, to tell you the truth. But I know I'm not the only one. They do a whole lot, like the brother said, they do a whole lot for a reason, man. It's to take over, it's to, hey man, again, shit. We don't be careful and get it together quick, fast, and hurry. We will be picking they fruits and vegetables real soon. Real soon. They'll have your ass in the field one way or another. Like I said, that might be one way to get it done too. Start arresting all you mama, all us. And then, hey man, oh, you want time off? You know, we take off 50 years. You give us 5 years of labor in the field. Think that's viable? You think people want to do that? Shit. Get them vegetables and them fruits and them nuts and shit picked quick. Get us right back in the field, man, one way or another. You know, that ain't far fetched, man. Trust me. Focus on the focus said, what is that? 31 Atlas is another play. Break that down for me. What is 31 Atlas? What is 31 Atlas? You can put me up on something. I don't even know what the hell that is. Hope it ain't some under a different name. That's how they play too. Oh, it popped right up. Oh, oh shit. We talking about interstellar shit, man. We talking about comets and shit, man. Yeah, is another play. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you got all kind of shit going on we don't know nothing about, man. 31 Atlas is an interstellar comet, meaning it originated from outside our solar system. It was discovered by the Atlas survey in July 2025 and is the third confirmed interstellar object to pass through our solar system. Hmm. Yeah, we got shit like that. Yeah. And Space Force and all this shit, building a new space station, that can house people and shit. Hey, Tantrum notes I did 15 in the feds where everyone lived on respect. In this free world, everyone is disrespectful. It takes time to adjust. It's real shit, man. Mark Coleman, a lot has definitely changed structurally, but after being gone for almost 12 years and then being back in the land, I couldn't help but see the prison yard in some of these communities. Boy, look here. Now I have to say, well, you be on point most of the time. That's why I like having you to get out, like the rest of y'all. Um, I don't know if y'all heard me say this, but I said there's that yard in there, and there's this yard out here. And I'm telling you, man, they function almost the same. Almost the same. Just in there, man, there's a little more respect, you know. Out here is a little more free fall, you know what I mean? So yeah, they're actually they're opposing yards in a lot of ways. In there, it has to be about respect because there's structure to some degree. Out here, there's no respect and no structure, but it's a yard, man. And if to me, it feels like a yard. Just no structure, no respect. So there's that yard in there and this yard out here. So I totally agree with you, bro. I totally agree with you, man. And it seems as if everybody trying to get to one yard or the other. You know, I think a lot of people think to get to that yard in there, man, it's like points. Stripes. Shit don't matter, man. It ain't gonna do you no good, man. In there, you're gonna be just like everybody else. Not only that, for the most part, when you get in there, you're gonna do what you're told. On that yard, you're gonna do what you're told. Eric Reed said, real talk, cuz I lost my freedom for 27 and a half years. Shit is crazy, but I made it. And trying to understand this new BS and staying clear and focused at all times. I'm telling you, that's the struggle, man. I was talking to one of the G homies. We were having a debate back and forth. I said to the homie, man, I said, man, anytime anybody do 20 years or better, anytime you do 20 years or better in there, man, and you come out here, what you first have to understand is that 20 years was supposed to prepare you for what's out here, for what's waiting. That way you know how it's like, yeah, it's another yard. You know how to maneuver. You know how to, get it done. You be out the way, man. That's the only way be in the game, so to speak, when you out the way. Hey man, that's some real stuff. You get out here and you be like, oh shit, you know, I made it out of all that. Now I'm out here with this shit. That's almost some scary shit almost. But I know it's enough, man, for anybody had to gone through some time to realize that, man, this shit is it's worse than that in there in a lot of ways. In there, man, you just you don't have the freedom to jump in the car and go around the corner, go another city, out of state, you know, or just be away from the noise and the chaos all the time. Out here that's different in that respect. But when we come out here, man, a lot of us again we get that should be calling. It breaks through the focus. And most of the sisters you see, man, it's like, damn, okay, what am I supposed to do? Then you see brothers and they fronting and flossing with shit, and they're like, damn, I want to do right, but I got all this shit, man. All this shit in front of me, man. You know, there's some new BS, man. It's some new BS. And I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder to steer clear of it. Because some of us, man, we like to go and just, lounge, not on sidewalks and shit, man, but with our people, man, we chill, shoot some dominoes, play spades, knuckles, some chess, had shit on the grill, man, had the music going, man, and we got righteous people around us. We want to be able to relax, man, even reminisce, to some degree with the people. You know what I mean? That's hard to do nowadays. You know, that's hard to do nowadays, man. For a lot of reasons, man. Some of which we won't discuss, but it's hard to do. Our youth are instantly cash, no future plans. Period. Yeah, right now, that microwave, right now. Let me get that. Eric Reed said, "I'm black and I think 10 steps ahead at all times. I'm trying to buy acres. Black Wall Street. There you go, man. And for real, man, you have to plan your life daily. Daily. You have to plan your life, the steps you take in your life daily. Because if not, somebody gonna step in your way. And if you not focused on the focus, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Next thing you know, you off that path, man, of prosperity, of positivity. You doing what you supposed to be doing, not just for yourself, but those you love. You look up one minute you good, and next man, because you done lost focus, it's all bad. It's all bad, man. He said, I'm black and think 10 steps ahead at all times. Tantrum knows, say, I'm a tattoo artist that teaches them every day with proof on my channel. I show people and prove to them, Groove. I really listen to Hoover Joe and the little homies need us. Yeah. Yeah. Be the example, bro. Be the example. I'm going to say, I'm glad I found this channel, man. I need to try to grow, not keep self-destructing. And I have to say something about that self-destructing because, again, I had a conversation with a couple of brothers off the east side, man, reputable dudes, man, respected. And again, we talking about the culture, the C Nation, so to speak. And he said, Bub, man, you realize that really it's a destructive force. you know that is it's not there to build, you know to be positive. Yeah, no shit, you know no shit. But in my mind, man, I'm thinking, but shit, anything is possible, bro. Anything is possible. You had other groups of people, almost the same mentality, but they went from being destructive, being um negative in a lot of respects, man, to all of a sudden being politicians and running shit on a legitimate level. I'm not advocating, no criminal organizing or nothing like that. I'm just speaking to how if the mind works a certain way, man, it can bring about certain changes that are positive. And another thing is you don't need individuals to do this. You know what I mean? You could be you yourself, you know, turn a negative into a positive. It's the individual, now because the inception of whatever the get down is, man, was, or that's what it was, or that's what it is, doesn't mean it has to remain. It has to remain that. You know what I'm saying? I think evolution is real. I think evolution is real, man. And that's not just with human beings. I'm just saying just in all things. We supposed to evolve. We supposed to. We've been devolving. We have not evolved. But just imagine if we evolve in terms of, like I say, how we think and then how we speak and how we act. Man, anything is possible. You don't have to be, or we don't have to be this destructive force. And that includes Damus as well. Same thing. They're no different in terms of being destructive. We are, but I just think that it's been, for whatever reason, I can't put my finger on it. I can't put my finger on it correctly or accurately. But this thing, man, it exists the way it does, man, to keep us from evolving, to keep us destructive, destroying things, tearing down shit, lives, communities, ourselves, There's something going on with this, man. And once we get to the point, well, I think individually, again, it's the individual mindset, man, we have to start with first. We got to start thinking, changing the way we think. And that's so possible. You got a brain, man. There's no more powerful organ or thing on the planet of the earth. Change the way we think, man. I'm telling you, man, boom. The changes that we need, the changes that we all want, desire, we dream about, man. Right there, man, it's in a thought. And that thought is in that action. What I mean? The action comes from that thought. You know what I mean? We just got to get to that point, man, where, where words, man, become powerful and actions are more powerful. We just got to step this shit up, man. We don't got time, man. It's okay, yo. Los Angeles Aboriginals say we don't got time to sit down and educate or be positive when they busy chasing chicken with limited opportunities and distractions. All right, I hear you. We don't got time to sit down and educate or be positive when we busy chasing chicken with limited opportunities and distractions. We know Papa, Louisiana, man, or just not focusing, man. Yeah. Yeah, but again, now, I was saying a minute ago, just because look at how life now works. There's actually very little time for us to do us. You know what I mean? This individual thing, because life is constructed now in such a way to where most of your day evolves around or is subjected to taking care of business so that you can continue to live. A job, for instance, some of us 8, 10, 12 hours with a family. So you get home now, you gotta, deal with that. Some of us have yards and repairs. It's just so much, man. And I think that so much exists the way it does so that we don't have time. When they started to employ people way back when, they used to employ them all day long, like slaves, basically, so that you couldn't have time to yourself to think, of ways of improving your life to get out of this situation you in. It's really no different, man. It's just that, the certain laws say you can only work so many hours, you know what I mean? But so if you working 10, 12 hours, what that leave you? 12 hours, 14? How many of that do you need to rest? Another 7? Optimal, you know? It's optimum. The best rest you person can have is 7 hours, really no less. So that leaves you what? 7 more if you work in 10. 7 hours to do what? Run around, pay bills, buy groceries. You know what I mean? The things that some of us use that 7 hours on face stuck in the phone. I don't know what you're looking at. I don't know what got you attracted like that, but that's these are facts. The system is created. Society is functioning under this thing called limited time for self. But you get maybe a third of the day. A third of the day is dedicated to working for somebody else, making them richer, not yourself. Another third is about resting. And then you got a third, not for yourself, but for those you love, your family. You know what I mean? Your mama, your dad, your son, your daughter, your nieces and nephews. It's always somebody else. There's never really time for self like we would like for it to be. Those are facts, man. In order to do that, you'd have to say, shut the door, all right, hey, and you go MIA. And imagine that for some people who are dependent on you, what can happen if you're gone? Like, oh shit, everything falls apart. I don't know. But I think, yeah, there are limited opportunities and distractions for a reason. That's what I'm trying to say. We could try to make time for ourselves, but the reality is most of our time is not dedicated to us. It's just the way society is rigged. you know Chris 223, man, what it do? All right, he said, don't forget about the cough syrup, man. They can't put down the cup. Well, I don't know if the cough syrup is a thing now. I don't know. So, do they got that? I forgot what they call that cognac, man. That Martell, that Remy, and that other shit they add to it. Got a whole lot of shit going on, man. So there's that too. All these new drugs coming out, man. I just saw some more shit today, man. So in Florida, the National Guard, man, they get the largest drug bust in Florida's history. I mean, man, they had that shit lined up, and I'm thinking, okay, was that a real bust or was that just shit they've been busting over the years? And they said, come on, let's put this shit together and make like we really doing our job. Look at all these drugs we caught. I don't know, man. I don't know. They show one high-speed boat throwing over about 4 bales of drugs. By the time it's said and done, they had a whole pier full of drugs, man. I mean, stacked at least 4 feet high. And I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't on that little bitty boat. Hey, man. So, hey, now I've said this, and I said it because I mean it. Them motherfuckers, they are the biggest drug dealers in the world. And I'm talking about people who run shit. Man, I ain't never seen them. Maybe in another country, I've seen them burn weed. I've never seen them burn drugs. Now, they might, have bales or whatever. Say, oh, this bale right here, this 500 pounds or whatever consists of cocaine. Y'all ain't opened that and showed me that. Y'all ain't, I don't know what y'all burned. But I don't think y'all burning profit and getting rid of profit like that. I just, because let's be real. That's a business. You have what you call nowadays legitimate corporations, conglomerates, who got their start, who are where they are because of that game. Don't get it twisted, man. So I don't think they burning nothing. And that shit they said they just no, that's the shit y'all just been, that's y'all's store, or part of it. Part of y'all little, kit, you know what I mean? Come on, man. But anyway, you got drugs now. Trust me, of all kinds. They got all kind of new shit out. I heard one the other day, Kush or some shit. Spice. I think that's the one where they got people where they stand up and they just linked over. You know, that's a cold drug, man. Cold drug. But yeah, call syrup. That's the least. That's the least of it. But yeah, that shit is in full effect still. I get it. I was talking to somebody again about that, and I'm saying, man, what you mean? You say, no, man, we just pour the shit in the cup and you sip it all day. I said, I want to be facetious. Like, man, fuck, if you got one of them costs that last all day, you need to sip cough. What it do? What did? Oh man, it make you. I said, man, look, man, I've been taking cough syrup since a kid. I don't remember none of that. I really don't. I couldn't stand cough syrup. You mean to tell me now they drinking it out the bottle, and they still be sick? You can drink all the cough syrup, you still got colds, and I don't know, man, something going on, man. I just can't put my finger on it. Anyway, and somebody got to pick the fruits. I'm telling y'all, when they get to locking people up, y'all, the crackers mad. Excuse me, they mad, man, because they went and they vote for Trump, and he moved all them people, and they lose money every day. Well, especially in season when it's time to pick that shit before it rots on the ground. Hey, man, somebody's gonna pick that stuff. Trust me. And whether like me or not, tell me I ain't picking no cotton. I ain't picking no fruits and vegetables. Your ass better stay out the way then. You better stay the hell out of jail. Don't get caught, because I think they got a plan, man. And that's to have people picking fruits and vegetables in California and anywhere else. They growing pecans, walnuts, whatever. Whatever the Mexicans was picking, and they work their workforce, their labor force is short 50% now. All right, that's a lot of stuff. Y'all think I'm clowning, right? All right. They unlock. Look, man, they already do that shit in Louisiana, man. In some states they actually, man, look, they look, man, they be in the field. What's that damn prison name in Louisiana? Angola, I think it is. Look, man, they got chain gangs, man, to this day. And if you think that Louisiana only one could do that, you're mistaken. They can get it done. They can pass some laws, man. Well, shit, they ain't got to pass the law. The law still exists. 14th Amendment. That they went nowhere. Shit. You get arrested, you are considered a slave. You can be. You are in bondage. What up with it, Woody? Man, we just having a good conversation about you the other day, homie. The homies send they love too, bro. And just by the way, I met your grandbabies, man. Beautiful girls, man. Beautiful. It was beautiful. It was a pleasure to meet them, bro. It's a pleasure to meet them, man. You got some beautiful grandbabies, bro. You hear me? You got some beautiful grandbabies, bro. Yeah, real spit. Yeah, you say it's getting crazy in the land. Hey, I don't know. I'm not the bearer of bad news, man. Like I say, I don't want to, we ain't speaking no evil, but I said months and months ago, it's summertime. Watch what happened, y'all. I don't think I don't think that it was just coincidence that the community and everything about the community just bust out in the news, in social media, summertime. It's not a coincidence, man. That's just my take on it. This shit, man, is planned. This is worked out and is discussed. And you got enough people in social media, man, with enough clout, enough subscriptions and subscribe. You got enough of these platforms who have the right people or deal with the right people to, sit down and say, okay, let's get this up and running. Let's see how this take. It was funny. Hoovers had been out, like, not in the mess, man. Not in the mess. And I saw that shit. I said, hey, man, something going on. This is to get us up in this shit, man. In this shit. This is not by coincidence, but I said the summer was going to be hot. It's going to be turned up. Watch what I tell y'all. And then we going to be in the limelight. I said that. I regret saying it. I regret being right about that shit. I really do, man. Baby Sleep, what it do, man? You speak, you send a shout out to Woody, man. Hey, Woody, man, again, too. I can't wait for you to come down, man. We're gonna break bread, man. Go get something to eat, man. Chop it up, man. Kick it on the patio, man. We ain't got no way. Go straight to my house. Just kick it and chop it up, man. You know, just discuss some things, man. We missed you last week, I think. I think you came late. I always like your get down, man, your input into, this conversation when that we have with the people. It's always good, man. It's always good. And let's keep it that way, bro. Let's not worry about, I get it. I understand you fully. Let's adjust the focus though, all right? We got to, bro, because I'm gonna tell you, if we looting, it's that type of shit that those types of things that would sway, the righteous, so to speak, or those who want to be positive. It's that type of stuff, man, that bring you back, you know, you know. So just hey, man, just focus on the focus, homie. Just focus on the focus. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You worry about it too much, man, you're not good. Not good. You got to be something, a tantrum, man. It got to be something in the food. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. It's something in the food, no doubt, because like somebody just say they chasing these chickens. They go to chicken, they eating, they amen, it's something in that chicken y'all eating. And it's something in the water. The water bottles right here, it's something going on with these type of waters, man. I'm just saying. All the water comes from the same space or the same place, if you ask me. Ain't nobody really selling no better water than nobody else, man. It's all recycled, you know, in some way. It's all recycled, man. Some water might be different in terms of pH and all this shit, but hey, man, it's all coming from the same source. They'll send a big old truck, 500-gallon truck for the people who do Kirkland. That why they going, hook their hose up and they got the machine put it in the bottle, boom, down the assembly line, boom. But hey, it's something in the water. It's something in the water, man. It's something in the food and it's something in the water. And this is why we talk about how we talk about land owning acres. Because our plan is, I'm a veggie, so we want to grow our own food. I just feel better about that, I feel better about it. I told my wife we don't want to grow no corn. I might not grow no broccoli. I may not grow broccoli or some fruits or some vegetables I may not mess with. But for the most part, we got to grow our own food, man, because there's something going on. I'm telling you. Shoot, even sometimes my wife get crazy. I'll be like, look, what the fuck? What, what you done ate? What you done put the chicken down? No, I'm clowning, y'all. Yeah, man. That's why. Okay, Tam said that's why us that been locked down so long had a chance to think. So we see the bigger picture. It's part of the stages we were just talking about. Yeah, real spit, homie. And I say this, man, about brothers that been down. No, let me say this. I have to admit that I know a few brothers that done buku time, man, right? And man, they tripping. They stupid, they be tripping. It's like, man, I don't know, bro. It's like time, it fucked them up, you know? It fucked them up. And we have to admit too, Tantrum, to some extent, we've been affected. Anytime you do that type of time incarcerated, um, it's gonna mess with you, man, in some form or fashion, psychologically. It's gonna affect you, man. You know, it's gonna affect you, and I see it, the real effects of some brothers who mhm, smart as hell, man, intelligent brothers, but for whatever reason, can't just they cannot let go. Or it's not that it's almost as if it's PTSD type of a thing going on, you know. And I hate to see it, man, because I see it every time I see it. I'm like, damn, man, bro, a lot of us affected, man. Some worse than others, you know. Some worse than others, man. But when we in there like that, for the most part, most of us, the majority of us, we get in there, man, and we say, okay, man, wait a minute, man, this ain't cool. This ain't cool, you know. Um, no, man, I want to live. I want to know what life is really like, you know. And so we start to make these changes. We start to evolve mentally, you know, and we get it. We get it. We come home, man, and we be on it and we stick to it, no matter what. Because it's all kind of like foul shit that go on that can easily trigger an individual, you know, and put them back on that path of destruction. You know what I mean? It's so much. But for the most part, a lot of us, we continue to we stay focused on the focus, man. You know, man, again, like I say, that's not to mean that we have not been affected. It's just that, we struggle harder to stay focused. You know, we're not willing to just let that go, man. That focus, you know. So it's crazy, man, but it's here, man. It's here. Brothers are here, you know, sisters are here, and it's like there's no focus. It's like everyone is on some more stuff, man. And some of the stuff brothers and sisters talking about, they on the same shit. That should be different. You know, there's all kind of twists and turns to this shit now, man. Ain't nobody, you know, there's no solidness no more, you know. No. Yeah. Comedic, man. Bro, good. Just spoke with him. He good, man. He's good. Real spit, homie. Hey, Pope, man, how you doing, bro? He said, what it do, bub? Just checking in, man. I'm on graveyard shift, man. On this production set now. But always got a little time for Under the Groove. Got a good coming, man. Hey, man, likewise, bro, man. Get it in, man. Get it in, get it in. Stay with the get down, man. That get down you on, stick to that, bro. That go for everybody in the chat, man. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, man, to the live if you see so fit to do so. Let's get these numbers up, man. Let's get some more positive people in here, man. And again, people, the conversations we have, it's not content. It's not what I'm pushing. I've always said, and we on Under the Groove say this: come in here, man, with a topic and let's talk about it. And we ain't got to stick to that for 2 hours. We can bring different topics and issues based, like I say, above board, though. Like we're just telling the brother Mike Fresh, whoever that was. You know, we don't do a whole lot of shit, man, you see on other platforms. It's just not what we do. You know, we want to come in and have conversations. And I do want to talk about Karen Bass showing up over there on Figueroa in Manchester and then on 84th and Vermont. That's a conversation I think we got to have. What I did was share my opinion about Karen Bass, man, and by no means or in no way does that mean you guys can't have your opinions, but I think you all know that, you know, come on. Your opinion is yours, and it's more than welcome here as long as it's above board. Karen Bass, and I'm thinking and talking about Karen Bass now because I think a month or so ago we were talking about politics and the fact that a lot of us could actually be involved in politics. A lot of us can actually get these seats, man. You know, get these seats, man. Get these districts, man. You know, same way we ran the streets and did the things we did, man, to make them bad. We can walk these streets, man, get these votes, man, get these people to back us up, man, to make our streets better and keep them. Keep them. You know, put certain laws and policies in place where, hey, man, you can't chase us out of here, man. You know, we have history here. We have ancestors that came here, that lived here, died here. You know, politics is something I think we need to get involved in. You know, and it's nothing to actually get to start that process. Again, we're talking about processes. We have people representing us. And I did a little research last week and looked at the names. We have the 8th and ninth district, a couple of brothers, and there's one sister. I'd rather you guys go and do your research first, because like I say, it's a conversation we should have. But people aren't doing enough, man. People are not doing enough. And if so, it's not enough for us. You get my meaning? You get my drift? We need to get involved in these politics, man. We need to take some of these seats, man, and make these people earn these seats. We all know, I think, well, some of us may know people who are involved in fact, I do. I know people who are involved in politics, helping to get black judges elected and all that. I've sat through, some of those situations, not too far in the past, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, I think this is something we need to start discussing, man. We talking about saving ourselves, saving our community, man. I think one of the ways to do that, again, first is education. We have to educate ourselves. We have to be re-educated. And as such, man, as we go along that process, I guarantee you, man, then we have education enough to understand how these political seats work and how to get in, or how to make those who sitting in them respond to us. That's important. That's the importance of that. That's what we're talking about. I don't think we're receiving. We're not receiving that support, man, and that real representation. Damn a photo op. This is every day. And it ain't just, like I said, in that community. It's all over, man, every day. So that we got to start having them discussions. And this is why I always say, man, this chat is always open to the people. The people who want to come in and touch bases with each other, man, so be it. The people want to bring a conversation, a topic up, so be it. Let's have this conversation. And hopefully, as a result, someone in this chat picks up some worthwhile, picks up a jewel, man. Some wealth of information, man, and utilizes. This is why we do this. So by all means, people, by all means, let's get it done. That's all I got to say on that. I'm going to move on. Los Angeles Aboriginal said, man, they say civilization started thriving when we started farming and staying in an area instead of hunting, gathering, and falling animals. Yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. But actually, yeah, hunter gatherers, you had, the hunter gatherers, you had the farmers. Yeah, you had people farming the land, way back when, actually, yeah. How far back we going though? Because some of this, I don't know how far back to go with that, man. Um, I've read some stuff about it before, honestly, but the picture they're painting, I don't know who that was. And be honest, I don't know if they're talking about us or them. I don't know. But what I do know is that when civilization did get its foothold into the world, and in certain geographical areas, farming was the thing. Hunts still existed, going out on a hunt and things of that nature, but farming for the most part became a natural thing, a natural phenomenal occurrence, where they raised the meat. For instance, they raised the vegetables and the fruits and stuff like that. They grew it or whatever. So yeah, I don't for 1 minute think that it would be in our best interest to continue buying, produce, fruits and vegetables and meat from companies or people, that we don't know, one, and we don't know what they did, to the stuff too. Again, we don't know what we're eating. We do not know what we're eating. I learned some years ago that they'll let meat sit up, a carcass of meat sit up. They'll just freeze it, throw it out, throw some red dye on it and sell it. You know, also read where there's this thing about an animal being killed, what it does to the blood upon that, the impact of death. You know, in fact, some of these animals know they're being led to the slaughter and they act a certain way, boom. And they still feed that stuff to people, you know, they still feed that stuff to people. So we're eating meat that's tainted with trauma, anger, fear, you know what I mean? Just all kind of shit, man. It's all kind of shit going on that we don't really understand. And yet, we are partaking in this stuff. So like I said, man, we hope to get our own, man. And I told them we ain't gonna raise no pigs. We might have some chickens, a couple of cows. we gonna eat man right, man. I'm just saying. We gonna make sure this shit right, man. Because other than that, we asking for problems. We are asking for problems, man. What up with it, baby? Sleep, man. I seen you in the get down, man. Holler at the homies, man. Peace and love, homie. That's reciprocated, bro. Love and respect, man, to you and yours as well, all right? Coach G25, man. One love, man. Appreciate you in this get down, man. Oh, yeah. So Angola was the name of the prison where they use inmates, put them on chain gang, and they farm. They go, it's for one, it's the food that serves the prison. At least that's part of the story. You know what I mean? Because they got acres and acres and acres of shit, man. I'm willing to wager they sell that shit to other vendors, probably other prisons. I don't know, but I know they have chain gangs, and them brothers in there, oh, you're gonna work. You're gonna work. You wanna get out here? You're gonna go pick them crops. So I think that could be a possibility for us in California, especially those that they lock up, man. And it's always good to have a young body in the field, young, healthy body. And got them in jail. And they had these jails where, they can actually keep drugs out, cell phones, anything else. Get them in there, get them back healthy, so they can be in that sun picking them fruits and vegetables. Y'all making reservations you ain't gonna like. I'm telling you, man. Them the wrong reservations to be making. You brothers and sisters supposed to be making reservations, man, in terms of how your life is gonna be in 5 years, where you want to spend that vacation, who you want to take with you, how long you want to be, you know, making reservations to buy some property, to start a business, real shit. Making the wrong reservations, man. And you hearing it from somebody that know. Made the wrong reservations. Wasted a whole lot of time, man. Whole lot. Hey, Poke, that was Coach Zoe. All love and respect, man. Love and respect, man. It's always a treat. Ray Young says it's always a treat. And I need to try to understand what that means. I guess I would like to think you're talking about the podcast. And if so, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to read this, man. Hey, Los Angeles Aboriginal, I want to read this. He said, at Tantrum knows, most definitely. I was just talking about us as a whole, the 85% that sleep. I see all my family, even parents, all they do is send our children to school and food, clothing, and shelter only. No education, And I think, again, this conversation we had on many occasions, the education is what they call miseducation, man. We're not being educated, Again, like I told you, why would they educate you correctly, accordingly, appropriately? Why would they give you knowledge of self? Why would they shoot themselves in the foot, basically? Because that's what they would be doing. They'd be hanging themselves. They would be hanging themselves if they told you the truth. If these schools educated our youth like they should, like they, need to be educated, it would do them in. It would. It would end everything they running, everything they got. Come on. Again, this is not coincidence, man. This is it's a plan. It's a process, like the man said earlier. It's a process. Poke Mitch says the plastic that the water come in. Okay, Poke Mitch talking about the water I was talking about. And again, sometimes I try to be facetious, be light about shit. But yeah, truth of the matter is a lot of this shit is unhealthy. And yet this is what we consuming. This is what they put out there. And a lot of us think, okay, we go buy that $5 bottle or that $40, $50 case of 20, we're getting a better product. The truth is, we're really not. We're really not. I think, again, though, we're talking about a situation that we're not in control of. A lot of us, if we had land, one of the things I think we would attempt to do, man, as owners of that land, is to have our own well, because there are water tables underground, but the government got it to where you can't even have a well on your property. You know, that's a hard license to get. Why? Why did they don't want you to have your own well? We want you drinking what they produce, what they put out. It's a reason for that shit. But the wife and I talked about it. We're gonna find a way. Them. Yeah, I think it was a license or something that they don't give out to. You have to be some type of business, or the land has to be geared towards something more like industrial or something like that. But you couldn't just have regular land with a well, with your family. You gonna look that up? All right. Yeah, man. So Poke was saying though it's the plastic that the water comes in, and we've been drinking out of plastic for years. And of course, they've been known. Yeah. I swear, man, I look at a lot of these people. Um, I look at a lot of them, and I'm talking about those so-called the rich and famous um, politicians, things of that nature. You never see them with like water bottles like this. You don't. They'll have a pitcher of water. Now, I do recall seeing it a couple of times, but for the most part, I see them with the, pitcher of water and water. Most of them don't drink water on TV. You never really see them drinking water. Movie stars, actors, certain, I always see them with them thermoses, them that people carry around now. I don't see them carrying around water bottles like this. Again, there might be a few that have those real, what they call designer waters. It just costs more. Again, I don't think they're any different than what we drink. But the plastic for sure, man, is an issue. It is an issue. Yeah, man. That discussion too is a good one to have, brother, about how we don't pay attention to the youth. We don't, them babies, man. I think just not just babies, but us as people, regardless. We all want love. We all want to be loved, a hug, a good word. We got parents that, yeah, come in the house, man, baby right there, child right there. Hey, mama, I need it. Walk right by him, go grab that phone, sit down, and hey, then forgot about the baby, raising the baby, lacing them kids, man. Man, King Son, man, don't do it, boy, don't start no shit, won't be none. Back in the day, everybody had a garden. Look, man, when I'm telling y'all as a kid, now our dumb asses had rabbits and shit and ducks, and so they would eat our they would eat our garden. We was poor, but we, I don't know what happened to them rabbits. I think somebody killed them rabbits, took them rabbits and skinned them. But the rabbits would mess up our garden. And actually, it came a time, shit, we was hungry, they had nothing in the house. We would hit yards because we knew where the tomatoes were, not just the fruit trees, not just the apples and the plums and the peaches, the grapes. We knew where the tomatoes were. We knew where the green beans was. We knew what lettuce was. We knew where the squash was. Hey, man, hit gates, man. We wouldn't take the whole garden. Take a little bit of this, a little bit of that, boom, hit the gate. Because we, chances are we might have to come back, live off the people, man. But everybody had a garden and a fruit tree, more than one. I remember when I discovered this big ass tree in our yard was a walnut tree. I'll never forget it. You know, they would fall off and they'd be like hard green, but some of them would fall off and they'd be kind of brown and they'll sit there, just, rotting. And I happened to crush one. And I said, damn, man, now look, fucking walnut. I think I was about 8 years old, man. The damn walnut. I start collecting them. I love walnuts. Avocado trees, man, you name it, man. So everybody did have a garden. My mom started us on the garden, and that was around the time with Panthers, with train, teaching the people to raise their own food, have a garden, because you never know what could happen or what's going to happen. Have some food, have a source of food already there, And I had a garden in the backyard, man. I took care of that garden, man. I'm telling you, and dealing with that garden, I discovered all kind of shit. Salamanders and lizards and all kind of shit. Cause we had wood piled up back there. So I had to clean all that shit up, man. And then what they call plow the land, man. Mom standing over me watching me do this shit, man. But I was proud of that garden. And to this day, man, I still got a green thumb, man. I still have a green thumb. And I tell the wife all the time, I can't wait, man, to, get this land up, I'm none less than 10 acres, man, because I'm going to need 2. That sounds like a lot. It actually is a lot of land, 2 acres. But man, shoot, I'm a plant like I ain't, man. She gonna telling me I'm only gonna get a half an acre. Girl, you crazy. All the mouths, shit. We have to grow as much vegetables and shit we can, man, feed these hungry people. Sure. And I hope they don't think they're gonna be eating up my fruits and vegetables for free. But they help me. I just said, help me farm. Help me farm. Shit. No, man. Everybody had a garden, bro. Made me think about Miss Lois, man. Across the street, man. Miss Lois took care of her garden. Right there on the side of her house, man. Shit. Everybody had a garden. Anyway, yeah, that's something, black folk need to start thinking about getting back to, man. But, for the most part, a lot of blacks now, I think it's more blacks living in apartment buildings than houses now. You know what I mean? Back then, you had more blacks living in houses with yards, That's not to say blacks didn't live in apartments, because they did, but the street, and I don't care what street you grew up on back then, just recollect, think about it, man. There might have been only 2 apartment buildings on that street. All the rest were houses, Now, one of the streets in particular I grew up on, 78th Hoover and Fig, 1, 2, 3, 4 apartment buildings on that street alone. Now, when I go down that street today, guess how many apartments on that street, man? Damn near as many homes on that street. I went up that street, man, and looked up an old family friend, and that whole street got mostly apartment buildings now. But the old family friend, they still have their, they're still there, They're still there, man. But yeah, that's another thing that's changed, Desensitized, man. That's what we are, bro. We are desensitized. Thank you, bro, for that term, that phrase, that word right there. Tantrum Nose said, man, we are desensitized to a lot of stuff. We have become desensitized, especially to violence against one another, especially the violence, man. Like, oh, ain't me. We're not even thinking about the impact, man, of how it touches and destroys so many other individuals, not just the person that's no longer here, but everybody who was a part of that person. I love that individual. From mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, brother, sister, child, son or daughter. Impacted, man. Impact. And a lot of us are desensitized, man. A lot of us will lose a loved one day in a week from now, man. They, you know, have given it no real thought in terms of what was lost. Not at least not to the point or to the extreme where, hey man, okay, I got the something, hey man, something different, something better. Don't want to be this statistic. I don't want to forget, I don't want to make like it was okay that the homie over some shit we don't run, we don't own, you know. We have become desensitized. I have to admit that, brother. Good point. He said facts are we get desensitized to a lot of stuff. He said, I promise, OG, I'm pushing positive vibes and teaching our little ones. Stay focused on the focus. There you go, man. Coach G, man, 25, say growing gardens is great. I'm telling you, therapeutic, man. Therapeutic. I got some plants growing my dang self right now. And I go and pick them and mess with them, prune them. And I'm telling you, it's therapy. It's therapy, man. And there's that time to oneself right there. You get your little hobby or something like that, you do for, an hour a day, make your schedule for that, plan it out. It's therapeutic. It's great, man, to grow stuff, man. It's great to grow stuff. That's a positive thing. It's great to grow. Oh, we got us another one. It's great to grow. Yeah, it really is, man. Really is, man. Yeah, you right about that though, Coach. Yeah. Especially now. So Tantrum said, Coach G25, perfect idea. We all need to do. Remember the starting, taking the seeds out of our fruit and some vegetables. Because if you think about it in due time, here's another thing. This ain't a possibility. This is gonna happen. You're gonna be buying fruit and vegetables more readily now without the seeds. That's the GMO. That's the genetically modified shit right there, man. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. It's hard to find grapes with seeds. The only place you can go find a grape with seeds now is in somebody's yard. You know, they selling watermelon now with no seeds. It's just come on, man. It's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. Man, we stuck on bullshit while the real shit going down right in our face, man. Chef K, man. Much love back to you, Phoenix. Love the fact that you tapping in. That's another one, man. Appreciate you get out, man. We appreciate you at Under the Groove, man. And this is where we see no evil, we speak no evil, and we hear no evil, man. We're about the people. You are in tune with us. We are touching bases with the people. It's a pleasure to have you here, bro. Like, share, subscribe to this Get Down, man. Comment as well. All right, man. Appreciate you, Phoenix. That's Chef K out of Phoenix, man. Much love. Appreciate that. Chris Corey Flowers, 26. Right. Okay. Chris Corey Flowers. That's a new one also. Processed food is no good. Hey, Chris, thank you for the comment. And that's another thing. That's another thing they got us doing. They got us eating processed foods like it's just going out of style. There ain't gonna be no more tomorrow. We don't eat it all today. That's how they got us on them processed foods like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing. I didn't cut back on salt, but I know the diet needs a little salt, sodium, all kind of shit, man. You know, what? Some shit now just give me heartburn, man. Mayonnaise, man. What the fuck? I don't even want. Don't give me nothing. I can't eat potato salad no more. Cheese. All this stuff, man. I love now that my wife, when I got French fries, they air fry. You know what I mean? Now the beauty would be we grow our own potatoes, Shoot, I chop them things up. Give me with them little devices. You just mash down a potato and you got a whole bucket of friends. Hell yeah, I'll do that. Put them in the air fryer for me, baby. We good. You know? That's the get down, man. Stay away from these processed foods. Again, we talking about stuff that's affecting our brain chemistry, not just our brain and our chemistry of our brain, our bodies. It's a cold effort, man, being put in place, being put down on us, man. They trying to knock us down, man, in all kind of ways. And they even got us knocking each other down in all kind of ways. Chris 223 Bub, are you interested in eating African meat from the motherland? Well, bro, I don't eat meat. I just don't eat. I don't eat meat, bro. No, I made that decision. Shit, about 20, maybe 26 years ago. I don't eat meat, man. So no, I'm not interested. I need to be more interested in the types of vegetables and fruits I eat. You know what I mean? I just got a chart the other day of alkaline stuff and acidic stuff in terms of fruits and vegetables. So I'm finna try to make that transition to just straight alkaline fruit, shit that's good and healthy for that water, that water-based shit that's really, really good for you. So I'm on that, man. But no, meat is out of the question. No. Meat animals just out of question. And I heard about kangaroo burgers and stuff of that nature, man. Yeah, I've heard all that. What he said, 13th Amendment. Did I say what I'm talking about? Well, I thought it was the 14th Amendment, Woody, where if you are locked up, convicted of a crime, been put in jail, it's still you are considered um shit property, for lack of a better term, right now. You're in bondage. I thought that was the 14th Amendment. I'll double check, bro. If I'm wrong, I appreciate you correcting me, for sure. Huh? Yeah, it's the 14th, I think. You know. But again, always double check our stuff, y'all. And this is how we gather and gain the education and understanding we need. So anytime it's discussed in future, we know what we're talking about. And I'm sitting about, I think it is. It's okay. I'm not sure. So I need to be sure. The 14th Amendment. But now that you mentioned the 13th, I need to see what it is to understand it. The Don. Hey, bub, this Rob. The Don. What Rob, man? Hey, yourself, man. How you doing, bro? Huh. I like that, Tantrum. Tantrum No said, yeah, right. Why would they give you the cure when they can give you treatments? Come on, man. Where's the money in the curing you? Right, right. The money is keeping you sick. Again, psychologically and physically, man. Spiritually, even nowadays. Damn, some of mine, excuse me, y'all. I like that, man. Los Angeles Aboriginal. Go on, hit him with them questions, bro. I hope y'all peeping out that conversation between Los Angeles Aboriginal and comedic aesthetic, man. That's a good question right there. Okay. So Los Angeles Aboriginal asks, a Kim, I don't know if you in here that was breaking down Kim, but what you think about the black belt in the southeast? We made that land super fertile with ancient American techniques. Grew them crops, man. Them was the best crop, and way before them people even, they knew the land was fertile like that. So whatever we did before they got there and did what they did with us, that land was already like that, based upon our techniques. You know, the black belt, the southeast, man. Cold conversation right there. Oh, what's this? See one day. What's happening, man? I see you back, huh? All right, man. All right, man. Hope everything is everything over there in Australia, man. You know? And keeping it together. You focusing on the focus, bro. Got to focus on the focus. It's great to grow. Ain't nothing wrong with growing, man. Evolving. Stay in the game, man. Keep your head level, man. Yeah, I heard that one before. LA Aboriginal. Copper and silver cups and utensils to eat with. Me and my wife talk about this. And so I'll tell you, man, sometimes we get on some shit. We like, all right, we finna get that. We finna get, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to drink from a copper cup to see if I can actually tell the difference. You know? I hope she heard that. Walnut trees, man. Walnut, that's the brain food right there. And it's funny how they say fruits and vegetables look like certain fruits and vegetables, as well as nuts and legumes, beans and shit like that, look like human organs. And they're made, they're specifically, well, they cater specifically to that organ that it looks like. The walnut is the brain, the kidney beans, you know what I mean? Shit like that. Yeah, man, this is how we grew up, and that's where we lost, man. We lost. I said this. We said this last week. We've lost our way, y'all. We've lost our way, man, and we getting further and further away from the mark, man. We're losing our way. Shit, fucking sad, man. To tell you the truth, I don't like it, man. I don't like it, man. I mean, for anybody, shit is sad as fuck, man. Mr. Victor asks, OG, you got a Big Benno story? What kind of dude was he? Um, I get to YTS in 1982. Benno's is there. My G homie, OG Benno's, my G homie Fish, Trey Ball from the Gangsters there. But when I get off the bus, because when you get to YTS, the bus damn near pulls up right where the school area is. They got this dock where the laundry and all that is, right? And you walk, you get your shit, man, your fish roll and all that shit, your fish kit, and you walk, from the back of the gate into the school area up the thing. Anyway, I'm in jail because me and the G homie, we did a lick and we got caught, Anyway, uh, he ended up in TS. I ended up in Nellis, but I get kicked out of Nellis and sent to TS. Anyway, so we walking, and the G homie's Fish see me. And at the time, Benno's with him, and Fish like, boy, what you doing? And so Benno looking like, man, who is he? And he tell me, oh, that's the young homie, da 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 da. He said, man, straight dude going home. Benno said, all right. So by the time I get to the building, they sent me to where the kids be back then. That was K&L. So anybody that know, I know what I'm talking about. K&L, all the little wild kids was K&L. All the other units were more mature dudes, you know what I mean? But anyway, I get in the cell, man, and shit, boom, I look up, Benno at my door, man, with a care package, man. And this is the first time this ever happened to me, you know what I mean? Because I can tell you a story about being in YA, not having canteen, you know what I mean? Not having a good pair of tennis shoes, a fresh pair of khakis, a pennant, and a golf hat, like I said, man, we grew up poor. We weren't born into poverty. It just circumstances led us to, we ended up in poverty. So, but I had loved ones that looked out and shit, and mom, she would look out, my brothers, when they were able, would look out, but my point is, when I got to TS, Benno's come with this big ass bag. And see, I didn't understand back then, them big clear trash bags, dudes would go to canteen and have them things filled up, because you spend bread in canteen. Man, they give me the bag, man. He had the dude pop the door, man. He say, here, homie, man, because, I ain't had shit, couple of cartons of Camels in there, man. And I say that because I've always smoked cigarettes back then. I was never really a weed dude, nothing like that. But couple noodle soups, man, chips, Oreo cookies, coffee, man, you name it, toothpaste, soap, toothbrush, deodorant, shampoo, you name it, socks, underwear, street shit. And I'm like, man, I didn't want to cry. He said, man, you the homeboy, man, we got you. That's a story I remember about Benno's I'll never forget. And that was in YTS, man. That was 82. 82. It could have been early 83, but yeah, that facts, man. Facts. The last conversation I had with the homie before he passed away, he was out here, man. We were celebrating the remembrance of one of the loved ones, man. And he and I chopped it up. And I can say this now, truth to power, man. He said, man, I'll come on your podcast, bro. Say you're a good dude, you're a good homie, I'll come on your podcast. That was the last time I seen the homie, man. Last time I seen the homie. And I don't regret that he didn't come on the podcast. I think I regret more that I didn't spend more time just talking to the homie, because I had a lot of respect and love for Benno's, one of them dudes to me. Every time I seen him, just love and respect. You see me smile, got that smile. Oh, you out now, huh? You back out? Well, you gonna stay out? I'm saying, man, come on, man, But yeah, man. Yeah, real shit. That's the story, homie. True story. He looked out. He looked out for young homie. He had love for the homies, man. And I'm willing to wager he had love for anybody. He was that kind of dude, man. I think a lot of us forget or we miss the fact that a lot of us are good. We're good just by nature. We just are, man. We are so removed from who we really are, man. We, so far from the mark now, man. So far from the mark now, man. But yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, Coach G25 said it's the 14th Amendment. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And Tantrum Nose says the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which was ratified in 1865, is the one that abolished slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. Well, now, that is the 13th Amendment. That is the 13th Amendment I'm speaking about. So I do stand corrected. Appreciate that, Tantrum Nose. Appreciate that. But now, like I said, I'm going to go and I got to read it. I got to read it again just to make sure. Yeah. There's a book called The Great Cure and Much Less Diet. That's from LA, Los Angeles Aboriginal, y'all. The Great Cure. All right, y'all chop it up. See one there. Yeah. Two Aboriginals, man. Yeah. All right. Like that. Sharp Spear. Man, what's happening, Sharp Spear? Man, glad to have you in the chat, bro. Hopefully everything's everything, and the get down is to get down, bro. And the get down, man, is, hey, focus on the focus, y'all. People over paper. And it's great to grow, all right? It's great to grow, man. Appreciate you coming back to the get down, bro. Real spit. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, again, y'all, we got a lot going on. But I think that, and everybody know what I'm talking about pretty much. It's a lot going on. And it ain't just here. It's everywhere, man. It's a lot going on. I think, though, that we those of us who say that we're waking up, you know what I mean? Those of us who say, man, hey, man, enough's enough. Another good one, y'all. Enough is enough. Those of us who say, hey man, it's let's get positivity its turn now. Because man, we've been ensconced and so embedded in its negative stuff for so long. It's it's hard to breathe, man. It's hard to breathe, man. Every time I see some BS, it's hard to breathe, man. You know? So for those of us, man, that want what we know we need, again, man, not to just exist, not to survive, man, but to live, man. Yeah, we got to do more, man. We got to do more. And we start, man, by this type of get out, man. Again, there's Poke Mitchell podcast. There's there's Game Banging Coach for Life, Coach Zoe, man. You know, there are others, man. Again, I name one. I like their get down. They're on the platform is very nice. It's called African Diaspora. Check them out, man, because the issues they talk about are those issues that actually affect us in society. They don't, excuse me, yeah, they don't what you call promote, or they don't put out there this craziness that we do to each other in these cities. You know what I mean? They letting you know that there's other stuff going on with other people about us that we don't know, we're not aware of, because we're so we're lost. We're lost. Most of us, when we go on social media, we just go to see who did what to who that look just like you. So we miss that other information, that other part of the news that's actually, relevant to our survival, outside of our community. We got people, man, they coming, man. Everybody's getting this get down again. Trust me. The so-called white supremacists, the skinheads, they mobilized, But see, we not gonna know that. We not gonna know that because we mobilizing against each other. So what the hell we care about that? You know? Look, man, those of us who are really, about to get down, in this get down and with the get down for the get down, we got to do more, man. We got to start tapping into these other platforms and then share those platforms with us so we know who to go look at, so we know to go get something solid, that's going to be helpful, in terms of the direction we're trying to go in. That's my suggestion, that's my suggestion, man. It's a lot going on, people. Way more than this shit that we doing to each other, no matter what city we're in. You get me? It's a lot going on, man, and we're not seeing it because we stuck on stupid. And I don't mean to insult those of you who in this get down, man. I just mean on as a whole, in general, our people. You know, just in general, man. Real shit, man. So yeah, man. I appreciate that, Sharp Spear. Yep, yep. Hmm. Yeah, they in here chopping it up, man. They getting the cleansers together. There you go. YTS full of tumbleweeds now. What you mean? Is it closed down? Youth training school, is it closed now? Hmm. Yeah, Mr. Victor. He was, like I say, he was a solid brother, man. But don't let that fool you, man. The brother, is a good dude, man. You know? And like I say, most of us are. Most of us are, man. It's just that, we get caught up, man. We get caught up, man. And as a result of getting caught up, man, our spirituality also becomes captured. Our brains become captured. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah. So, again, man, good dude, man. I appreciate that, Coach G. And, like I say, true story, man. I got a few more, but, like some podcasters, they love them. Some I cherish, man. I just cherish because, like I say, man, it's brothers from everywhere, man. I have that I've met. I got a good story. And I would like to think they have a good story about me. You know. And that was the thing, man. I did, one thing. I want to be treated like you want to be treated. I won't treat you like, I want to be treated. You know what I mean? It's always been my thing, man. If I met you and shit, man, I want you to impart something knowledgeable to me. Give me some education, man. Most cats that know me know they'll tell you, hey man, hey man, okay, yeah, damn that BS. What's happening with this though, homie? This is what's really going. And I tried to make that a point, man, about my interactions with brothers. I was never negative, like, hey man, this whoop the waboo. Don't that's not say I haven't done that. I have. But when I realized the real mission, my goal, man, okay, man, how I was supposed to be as a man, that it changed. It changed, it changed. And along with that change, man, my mind started to, be geared towards, okay, man, what's good? You know what I mean? What's good? I know negativity. We, man, for the most part, we all do. Again, we drown in this shit, man. We are captured, man. And as a result, our spirits and souls are captured, man. Our brains are captured. So I know exactly what I'm saying. But I met some good dudes, man, from everywhere. Solid dudes. Killers. And you'd be like, and I know they were probably doing the same, me scratching their head like this motherfucker, but and I'm like, damn, this motherfucker, get them, but intelligent brothers, some good hearts, man. Again, just get caught in the rapture, man, so to speak. Get caught in the rapture, man. Mr. Vic said Big Monster from ETG said the 107 Hoovers was his childhood friends, Ben O's, Harb, Levi, Andre Jones. Yeah, man. Like yeah, man. Real spit. And Monster used to hang down there with the 11 Deuces more so, back in the day, And he tell you honorary 11 Deuce. We was on dirt bikes back then, you know. You know. Rashawn Davis said, I'm not gonna tell you nothing wrong, bro. I know a whole lot of shit, bub. Yeah, that part, right? That part, bro. Yeah. And that's why I say you be missing in the get down. You be missing in the get down. We need you to come in here and dispense some of that good shit, though. Come break that shit down to us. Have these conversations, man. We want you to touch bases with the rest of the people as well, bro. That go for everybody in the get out. And the thing is, I think the beauty of this thing is the conversation should always continue, even if the podcast shuts down for the day. You know? Because this is just, man, this is just an apparatus, a bridge, man. This is just something to facilitate conversation amongst the people, man, so that people can touch bases with other people, man. You don't need Under the Groove to be up and running for y'all to do this, what y'all doing now. You know what I'm saying? That's part of what we need to be talking about in terms of what we need to do, man, individually and otherwise. Communicate. Don't wait for this podcast or any other platform to come and want to, dispense and, and put forth this positivity to have conversations on the positive nature, level, basis, or whatever. Do it without. Like I said, this just facilitator, man. We just facilitating this conversation. And because I turn this thing off and go about that don't mean y'all got to turn off the conversation. That don't mean y'all stop touching bases with each other. We're forming relationships and bonds, bro. That's what this about. So stay in it, man. Stay in it, man. This is how we gonna get to where we need to be, man. Through communication, bro. Conversation. I said that, man. I mean that. This is some real spit, man. Don't let this be the reason that you stop talking to the brother you talking to now. You brothers know how to DM. You sisters know how to DM. Hey, man, y'all start having these. Come on, man. This is how we form these bonds. This is how we bring some positivity, man, not just to self, but each other, man. And the shit spreads. It really do. Conversation's supposed to keep going. It's not supposed to end when I close this laptop, bro. This is some real spit, man. So y'all give that some thought. Focus on the focus, people. All this conversation in here, man. This supposed to be on a daily. This is supposed to be on a daily, man. Yeah, we like to get to the point when we touch bases with the people. Some of y'all want to come in, man, and have a conversation with us. If you don't mind. It's what it's about, man. That's touching bases with the people. I ain't got nothing to hide, man. If you're the same way, and you send him and this is that and that is this because positivity is at the center of all this. Find some time, man. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So yeah, that's for you, Woody. I know you got some good shit to talk about. Yeah. And if that beautiful woman of yours give you 30 minutes to an hour, you can jump your ass on these get downs, man, and tap in with somebody and touch bases with somebody, man. Give them a piece of that, man. Let them know what you know. You're educating. That makes you an educator. That's what we need, more educators, man. Shit. Straight up. Straight up, people, in all due respect. All right, now on that note, man, I have to cut out. Like I said, when this thing goes off, man, that don't mean that the conversation should stop with you, brothers and sisters, man. This is touching bases with the people. This is Under the Groove, where we see no evil, we speak no evil, and we hear no evil, man. Not here, man. Not here. All right? You about to get down? Then let's get down, man. And again, it's great to grow, people. Focus on the focus, man. When you do as you do, man, watch what you see along the way. Knowledge, man. Pick it up. Be educated, man. Educate others, man. Love yourself. Love those around you, man. That's the only way you can actually do that. Is when you're loving yourself, man. Love, man, is not an impossible thing to give to somebody else, man. It's there. It's in you, and it can be shared, man. So that being said, man, take care of yourself. Take care of each other, man. Power is in the people, y'all. You can't get it from nowhere else. Can't nobody give it to you. Stop looking for somebody to give you the power. Ain't nobody coming to help us, man. All we got is us. The power is in the people, man. You are, you have been, and you will be under the groove. Peace. One love.